In the late 1980s, the automotive world witnessed the birth of an extraordinary collaboration between two distinct car manufacturers. The German automaker Opel and the British engineering firm Lotus came together under the umbrella of General Motors to create what would become one of the most remarkable sedans of its time, the Opel Lotus Omega, known in the United Kingdom as the Lotus Carlton. The story begins in 1986 when Opel introduced their Omega a comfortable executive car designed to replace the aging Opel Rekord. While the standard Omega A was praised for its aerodynamic design, achieving an impressive drag coefficient of 0.28. Opel had bigger dreams. They wanted to transform their practical family sedan into something that could challenge the dominance of high-performance cars from BMW and Mercedes-Benz. Enter Lotus, the British sports car manufacturer, founded by the legendary Colin Chapman in 1952. By 1986, General Motors had acquired a majority stake in Lotus, creating the perfect opportunity for collaboration. The project, designated as Type 104 within Lotus, officially began in 1989. This wasn't just about adding a few horsepower, it was about creating a super sedan that could compete with the best in the world. The transformation started with the heart of the car, its engine. Lotus engineers took Opel's standard 3.0-liter, 24-valve inline-six engine and performed extensive modifications. They increased the displacement to 3.6 liters and added two Garrett T25 turbochargers. The result was nothing short of extraordinary. 377 horsepower at 5,200 revolutions per minute and 419 pounds-feet of torque at 4,200 revolutions per minute. These weren't just impressive numbers on paper. They translated into real-world performance that would shock the automotive community. The Opel Lotus Omega could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.1 seconds. But what really turned heads was its top speed, over 176 miles per hour. This wasn't just fast for a sedan, this was fast for any car of its era. To handle this newfound power, the car needed a proper transmission. The engineers selected a 6-speed manual ZF gearbox, the same unit used in the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. This choice wasn't just about handling power, it was about providing drivers with precise control and engagement. But powerful engines and strong transmissions aren't enough to make a great performance car. The Lotus engineers knew this, and they went to work on the chassis and suspension. They lowered the ride height and stiffened the suspension, carefully tuning the spring rates and dampers to provide better control during high-speed maneuvers. The braking system received similar attention, with ventilated disc brakes installed at all four corners to ensure the car could stop as well as it could go. The exterior design told the story of the car's performance without shouting it. The standard Omega's clean lines were enhanced with a more aggressive front bumper, functional side skirts, and a rear spoiler. The car rode on unique 17-inch alloy wheels wrapped in specially designed tires that bore the Greek letter Omega on their sidewalls, a subtle but distinctive touch that highlighted the car's special nature. Inside the cabin, the Opel Lotus Omega balanced performance with luxury. The interior featured leather upholstery and a premium sound system, while special Recaro sports seats kept occupants firmly in place during spirited driving. The dashboard housed additional gauges that provided crucial information about the engine's performance, ensuring drivers could monitor their car's vital signs at all times. Production of this super sedan began in 1990, at a time when the automotive industry was facing significant challenges. The early 1990s brought an economic recession that would impact sales of many high-end vehicles. Opel initially planned to build 1,100 units of the Lotus Omega, but the economic climate and the car's substantial price tag of £48,000 led to a reduced production run. When production ceased in December 1992, only 950 units had been built. 320 Lotus Carltons for the British market and 630 Opel Lotus Omegas for continental Europe. The limited production numbers and incredible performance capabilities have made the Opel Lotus Omega one of the most sought-after modern classics. Each surviving example tells the story of a unique moment in automotive history, when a practical family sedan was transformed into one of the fastest four-door cars of its time. The collaboration between Opel and Lotus proved that with the right engineering and vision, a family car could deliver supercar-level performance without sacrificing practicality. While the automotive world has seen many high-performance sedans since the Opel Lotus Omega, few have captured the imagination quite like this German-British collaboration. It wasn't just about the numbers, although they were impressive. It was about proving that a sedan could be practical and thrilling, comfortable and fast, luxurious and sporty. The Opel Lotus Omega showed that compromises weren't necessary, that with proper engineering, you really could have it all. Today, more than 3 decades after its introduction, the Opel Lotus Omega remains a testament to what's possible when two companies with different expertise come together with a shared vision. It stands as proof that sometimes the most remarkable achievements come from unexpected partnerships, and that pushing boundaries often leads to creating legends. The story of the Opel Lotus Omega isn't just about a fast car. It's about daring to challenge conventions and succeeding in creating something truly extraordinary. Built between 1994 and 1999, the Rover 620 Ti was a remarkable vehicle emerged from an unlikely partnership between Britain's Rover and Japan's Honda. What made it special wasn't just its performance, but the way it combined two different automotive philosophies into one impressive package. The story begins in 1993 when Rover introduced the 600 series. The company faced a challenging task. They needed to replace the aging Austin Montego and compete with powerful rivals like the BMW 3 Series and Mercedes-Benz 190. The solution came through their collaboration with Honda, building upon the 5th-generation Honda Accord platform. This partnership would prove crucial in creating a vehicle that could stand toe-to-toe with German luxury brands. Under the guidance of Richard Woolley, Rover's design team embarked on an ambitious project. They weren't just creating another car, they were crafting a vehicle that would showcase British design while incorporating Japanese engineering excellence. The result was a car with perfect proportions, measuring 182.9 inches in length, 67.5 inches in width, and standing 54.3 inches tall, with a wheelbase of 107 inches. These dimensions weren't chosen randomly. They provided both road presence and practical interior space. The 600 series lineup included several models, the 618i, 620i, and 623i, but it was the 620 Ti that stood as the crown jewel of the range. Released in 1994, this performance variant transformed the elegant sedan into something much more exciting. The exterior design process focused on creating a sleek, aerodynamic body that could cut through the air efficiently while maintaining the dignified appearance expected of a British luxury car. Let's dive deep under the hood, where the real magic happened. The 2.0-liter T-Series engine was a masterpiece of engineering evolved from Rover's earlier M-Series engines. With double overhead camshafts and 16 valves, the engine was already impressive, but the addition of a Garrett T25 turbocharger and intercooler system took it to another level entirely. The power output was remarkable: 197 horsepower at 6,000 revolutions per minute and 174 pound-feet of torque at just 2,100 revolutions per minute. The engine's sophisticated design included a cast iron block for durability and an aluminum cylinder head for better heat management. A multi-point fuel injection system ensured precise fuel delivery, while NOx sensors and adaptive learning capabilities optimized performance under various driving conditions. All this technology helped the 3,009-pound sedan sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 7 seconds, with a top speed of 143 miles per hour. The transmission system deserves special attention. The 5-speed manual gearbox featured carefully chosen ratios that kept the engine in its power band during spirited driving while allowing comfortable cruising on highways. A Torsen limited slip differential, a feature usually found in higher-end sports cars, helped manage the substantial power going to the front wheels. This clever piece of engineering reduced torque steer and improved traction, especially during aggressive acceleration or cornering. The suspension system showed the benefits of Anglo-Japanese collaboration at its finest. The front used a sophisticated double wishbone setup, providing excellent wheel control and feedback. This design was particularly effective in maintaining consistent tire contact with the road, especially during hard cornering. The rear featured a multi-link system that allowed engineers to fine-tune the balance between comfort and handling. Both ends had anti-roll bars specifically sized and tuned for the 620 Ti's performance capabilities. The steering system used hydraulic power assistance, calibrated to provide quick, precise responses. The steering rack had a shorter ratio than standard models, reducing the turns needed from lock to lock and improving responsiveness. The 16-inch alloy wheels wore low-profile tires that provided excellent grip while contributing to the car's sporty appearance. Braking performance was a crucial focus of development. Ventilated disc brakes at the front and solid discs at the rear provided strong, fade-resistant stopping power. The standard anti-lock braking system prevented wheel lockup. During emergency braking, maintaining steering control when it mattered most. The chassis itself received additional bracing and reinforcements to handle the increased performance, improving torsional rigidity and overall stability. Inside the cabin, the 620 Ti showcased British luxury traditions while incorporating modern conveniences. The dark, half-leather upholstery came standard, complemented by wood and chrome trim that created an upscale atmosphere. The seats featured extra bolstering for sporty driving while maintaining comfort for long journeys. The driver's seat included height adjustment and lumbar support, ensuring a perfect driving position for any body type. The dashboard layout prioritized functionality while maintaining elegance. Clear analog instruments provided essential information at a glance, while a trip computer displayed data about fuel consumption, range, and average speed. The center console housed controls for the standard air conditioning system, which used simple rotary dials for temperature, fan speed, and air distribution. The tinted windows helped reduce glare and maintain comfortable interior temperatures. Storage space was carefully considered. The trunk offered 15.2 cubic feet of space, expandable by folding down the rear seats. Throughout the cabin, thoughtful storage solutions included door pockets, a glove box, and a center console. The entertainment system featured an AM/FM radio and cassette player, typical for luxury cars of the mid-1990s. Safety features demonstrated forward-thinking design. Standard equipment included a driver's airbag, side impact door bars, and seatbelt pretensioners. The car's security system included an alarm and immobilizer, addressing growing concerns about vehicle theft in the 1990s. The exterior design perfectly balanced sportiness with elegance. The wide chrome grille made a bold statement, while the subtle power bulge on the hood hinted at the turbocharged engine beneath. The front bumper incorporated larger air intakes and integrated fog lights. The 16-inch six-spoke alloy wheels filled the arches perfectly, and a discreet rear spoiler added a sporting touch without being overly aggressive. Popular color choices included British Racing Green, Nightfire Red, and Charcoal Gray, each complementing the car's sophisticated lines. Regular maintenance was straightforward, with easily accessible service points and readily available parts. The robust design of the drivetrain components contributed to the car's reputation for reliability among enthusiasts. Regular fluid changes and inspections were recommended to maintain optimal performance and longevity. When the automotive press got their hands on the 620 Ti, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Magazines like Autocar praised its performance, particularly in comparison to rivals like the BMW 318i and Ford Sierra RS Cosworth. The car represented something unique, a vehicle that could satisfy both the enthusiast driver and the executive who needed to maintain a professional image. The pricing strategy positioned the 620 Ti competitively within the compact executive segment, though it faced stiff competition from German brands that were perceived as offering greater prestige. Despite this challenge, the car found a loyal following among buyers who appreciated its blend of British style and Japanese reliability. During its production run from 1994 to 1999, Rover manufactured 272,512 units of the 600 series at their facility. The 620 Ti represented only a small portion of this total, making it a relatively rare car even when new. Today, finding a well-maintained example is increasingly challenging, making these cars prized possessions among enthusiasts who appreciate their unique blend of characteristics. The legacy of the 620 Ti continues through dedicated enthusiast communities who maintain and preserve these vehicles. They recognize it for what it truly was, not just another executive sedan, but a unique expression of British automotive engineering that successfully combined performance, comfort, and style in a way that few cars of its era managed to achieve. It represents a high point in Anglo-Japanese automotive collaboration, proving that sometimes the best ideas come from bringing different engineering philosophies together. The story of the Nissan Gloria Gran Turismo Ultima begins in 1959, when Prince Motor Company, a pioneering Japanese automaker, introduced the first Gloria to the world. This wasn't just another car launch, it was the beginning of a legacy that would shape Japan's luxury car market for decades to come. The Gloria's journey took an interesting turn in 1966 when Prince Motor Company merged with Nissan Motors. This merger wasn't just a business deal. It was a fusion of two engineering philosophies that would elevate Japanese automotive excellence to new heights. The Gloria, now wearing the Nissan badge, continued its evolution, becoming more refined and sophisticated with each passing year. But it's the 1990s version of the Gloria, specifically the Gran Turismo Ultima variant, that truly captures our attention today. This wasn't just another Japanese luxury sedan, it was Nissan's statement piece, a vehicle that showcased everything the company had learned about building premium automobiles over the previous 3 decades. Picture this: a sleek, aerodynamic body stretching 192 inches in length, 69.5 inches in width, and standing 56 inches tall. The Gran Turismo Ultima's exterior design spoke volumes about Japanese attention to detail. Its distinctive front grille and carefully crafted headlights gave it an unmistakable presence on the road. The smooth, flowing body lines weren't just for show, they served a purpose, helping the car slip through the air with minimal resistance. Step inside, and you'd find yourself surrounded by luxury. The interior was a masterclass in Japanese craftsmanship, with premium leather seats that provided both comfort and support. The dashboard featured a harmonious blend of analog gauges and digital displays, all laid out with the driver in mind. Rich wood trim adorned the dashboard and door panels, adding a touch of traditional luxury to the modern interior. But the real story of the Gran Turismo Ultima lies under its hood. Here sat the VQ30DT engine, a 3.0-liter V6 powerhouse equipped with a turbocharger. This wasn't just any engine. It was part of Nissan's renowned VQ series, known for its smooth operation and robust performance. With 270 horsepower at 6,000 revolutions per minute and 271 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 revolutions per minute, this engine gave the Gloria the muscle to match its luxury credentials. The technical sophistication of the VQ30DT engine was remarkable for its time. It featured a dual overhead camshaft configuration with 24 valves, allowing for optimal airflow and engine breathing. The addition of a turbocharger wasn't just about raw power, it was carefully tuned to provide additional thrust while maintaining reasonable fuel efficiency. Power from this impressive engine was channeled to the rear wheels through a 4-speed automatic transmission. This might seem modest by today's standards, but the transmission's gear ratios were carefully selected to provide both strong acceleration and relaxed highway cruising. The first gear ratio of 2.785, second gear at 1.479, third at 1.000, and fourth at 0.694 worked in harmony with a final drive ratio of 3.916 to deliver smooth, effortless progress. Despite its focus on luxury and performance, the Gran Turismo Ultima didn't forget about practical considerations. The car achieved approximately 20.2 miles per gallon in city driving, and an impressive 38.5 miles per gallon at a steady 37 miles per hour. With its 21-gallon fuel tank, this meant you could cover substantial distances between fill-ups. The suspension system was another area where the Gloria showed its sophisticated engineering. The front employed a strut coil spring setup, while the rear featured a multi-link type coil spring system. This wasn't just about providing a comfortable ride. It was about finding that sweet spot between luxury car comfort and sports sedan handling. Braking was handled by ventilated disc brakes on all 4 wheels. This wasn't common for all cars of the era, but Nissan knew the importance of reliable stopping power in a vehicle of this caliber. The ventilated disc provided consistent performance even under heavy use, with the airflow between the disc surfaces helping to prevent brake fade. The wheels and tires were carefully chosen to match the car's character. The standard setup featured 215/55R1691 V tires mounted on 16-inch alloy wheels. These weren't just any tires. They were specifically rated for speeds up to 149 miles per hour, matching the car's performance capabilities. The tire width of 215 millimeters provided a good balance between grip and comfort, while the 55 aspect ratio sidewalls helped absorb road imperfections without compromising handling precision. The Gran Turismo Ultima's market position was unique. In Japan's competitive automotive landscape of the 1990s, it stood out as a luxury sedan with sporting pretensions. While Toyota had its crown and Honda offered the legend, the Gloria Gran Turismo Ultima carved its own niche. It was part of the Y32 generation produced from 1991 to 1995, during a time when Japanese automakers were pushing the boundaries of what was possible in automotive engineering. Today, the Nissan Gloria Gran Turismo Ultima has become a sought-after classic, particularly among Japanese domestic market enthusiasts. Its combination of luxury, performance, and rarity makes it a standout example of 1990s Japanese automotive engineering. Many examples have found their way to countries like the United States and Canada, where they're celebrated for their unique character and historical significance. The Gloria's legacy lives on in the hearts of automotive enthusiasts worldwide. While the model line eventually merged with the Nissan Cedric series in the 2000s, the Gran Turismo Ultima represents a high point in Japanese luxury car development. It's a reminder of a time when Japanese automakers were challenging European luxury brands head-on, bringing their own unique perspective to the luxury car market. The aftermarket community has embraced the Gloria Gran Turismo Ultima as well. Companies like Sika developed custom big brake kits specifically for the Y32 models, featuring advanced components like forged 6061 T6 alloy calipers and two-piece floating rotors. Some enthusiasts have opted for wheel upgrades, with options like 19-inch Workmeister wheels becoming popular choices for those looking to enhance both the car's appearance and performance. The story of the Nissan Gloria Gran Turismo Ultima isn't just about specifications and features. It's about a pivotal moment in automotive history when Japanese manufacturers proved they could compete with the world's best. It's about the dedication of engineers and designers who worked to create something truly special, and about the enthusiasts who continue to preserve and celebrate these remarkable vehicles today. In the late 1980s, as Japan's economic bubble reached its peak, Mazda set its sights on a bold new horizon. The company, known for its reliable everyday cars, dreamed of competing with the luxury giants. This is the story of the Eunos 800, a car that embodied both the ambitions and challenges of an era. The journey began in 1989 when Mazda launched the Eunos brand. This wasn't just another car line, it was Mazda's gateway into the premium market. The flagship model would be the Eunos 800, a car that would later be known as the Mazda Millennia in North America and the Mazda Zetos 9 in Europe. The Eunos 800 was an impressive sight on paper. Stretching 190 inches in length, 70 inches in width, and standing 55 inches tall, with a wheelbase of 108 inches, it had the proportions of a proper luxury sedan. The designers worked tirelessly to create a shape that would slice through the air, focusing on aerodynamics while maintaining an elegant presence on the road. But what truly set the Eunos 800 apart was what lay beneath its hood. The standard model featured a 2.5-liter V6 engine, known as the KLZ. This wasn't just any ordinary power plant. It was a sophisticated piece of engineering with double overhead camshafts and 24 valves, producing 200 horsepower. For those seeking even more innovation, Mazda offered something truly special. The Eunos 800M, equipped with a 2.3-liter Miller cycle engine called the KJ-ZEM. The Miller cycle engine was a fascinating piece of technology. Unlike conventional engines, it kept its intake valves open longer during the compression stroke. This unusual approach, combined with a supercharger, allowed the engine to achieve greater efficiency while still delivering an impressive 220 horsepower. It was the kind of engineering that showed Mazda wasn't just trying to copy its competitors, it wanted to innovate. Inside the cabin, the Eunos 800 spoke the international language of luxury. Rich leather upholstery covered the seats, while carefully selected wood trim adorned the interior. The dashboard featured clear analog gauges, and the center console housed an automatic climate control system that would maintain the perfect temperature for occupants. When the Eunos 800 hit the North American market as the Mazda Millennia in 1994, it seemed poised for success. The first year saw 24,423 units roll off dealer lots. However, the following years told a different story. Sales dropped to 21,561 units in 1995 and plunged further to 13,019 in 1996. By 2002, the final year of production, the dream of competing with luxury giants had faded. What went wrong? The answer lies in a perfect storm of challenges. Japan's economic bubble had burst, plunging the country into a recession that would last for years. This economic downturn couldn't have come at a worse time for Mazda's luxury aspirations. The company had also created multiple sub-brands, Eunos, AutoZam, and Effany, which left consumers confused about what each brand represented. Meanwhile, the luxury market was becoming increasingly competitive. Brands like Lexus, Infiniti, and Acura had already established themselves as the Japanese luxury alternatives to European manufacturers. The Eunos 800, despite its innovative engineering and elegant design, struggled to carve out its own identity in this crowded marketplace. But perhaps the Eunos 800's true legacy isn't in its sales figures, but in what it represented. This was a car that dared to be different. While other manufacturers were focused on traditional approaches to luxury and performance, Mazda took a chance on the Miller cycle engine, a design that prioritized efficiency without sacrificing power. This innovative spirit would later influence the development of more successful Mazda models like the Mazda 6 and Mazda 3. Today, the Eunos 800 has gained a dedicated following among car enthusiasts who appreciate its unique place in automotive history. Its rarity has made it a collector's item, particularly the Miller cycle variants. These cars serve as rolling museums of a time when Japanese manufacturers were pushing the boundaries of what was possible in automotive engineering. So while the Eunos 800 may not have conquered the luxury market as Mazda hoped, it earned its place in automotive history. Not as a cautionary tale, but as a bold experiment in engineering and a reminder that sometimes the most interesting stories in the automotive world aren't about the biggest successes, but about the daring attempts to do something different.